Jauan Jennings. I think this guy is done with the 49ers. I don't think he's ever going to play another game with the 49ers. And of course, that means he'll suit up week one. I just don't see how this gets resolved unless the Niners just cave, which I don't think they're going to do this time. They could give him an extension, they could give him a raise, and he'd play. Saving that, I think the Niners think that he'll just show up and they're calling his bluff. But I think that from his perspective, makes more sense to not play football this year than to play it on his current salary. Let's look at it from his perspective. If he doesn't play at all, says his calf hurts, he wouldn't get the escalators in his contract. He might miss out on $1 or $2 million, but he'd still get his game checks. So he'd still get like $6-7 million. So there is some downside to sitting out the entire year. Also, it may turn off other teams if they think he's dogging it or whatever. But if he plays and suffers a serious injury like Brandon Ayuk did last year, or lots of football players do all the time, then there's no payday for him next year. If he gets to free agency next year healthy, he'd be the top 1 or 2 wide receiver. I mean, Mike Evans will be a free agent if he gets to free agency. He's like 33 years old. After him, it's probably Jennings as the top free agent on the market. Will he get $25 million a year? Probably not. But he'll get a whole lot more than the Niners are offering him. So I think it is in his interest not to play for a couple. I mean, not just because all the risk he has from playing, but if he doesn't play and the Niners lose, and that kind of shows the Niners in the league his value. You thought you could replace me with Kendrick Bourne. You thought you could replace me with Demarcus Robinson. Guess you can't. Guess I actually am an A-list wide receiver who deserves $20 million a year, because when I'm not there, you guys don't convert on third down, yada, yada, yada. Look at, maybe he wins, maybe he doesn't, but I think he's at that point. His agent, people aren't taking him seriously. His agent is Drew Rosenhaus. Drew Rosenhaus is not messing around. This is like the number one agent in sports. And I don't think he's going to come this far to say, like, you know what, we tried. Good try, Jauan. Let's just go out there and play week one like nothing ever happened. So if that's what he's willing to do, sit out all year, it's my guess. What they should do is trade him, but I have a bad feeling that they're going to stubbornly hold on to him, just like they're stubbornly holding on to Jake Moody. And why would they stubbornly hold on to Jauan Jennings? Because they want to show that players can't push him around, agents can't push him around. Okay, but this is a huge distraction. Like, what makes this that much different than the Ayuk situation? Ayuk just was pretty outward about holding in. Jennings hasn't really talked about it, but I think that's smarter because now he's not going to face any fines. He can just say that his calf hurts all season, and get paid. I mean, Christian McCaffrey did that last year. I'm not saying he wasn't hurt, but the Niners doctors checked him out before the season and said, yeah, we think he might be able to play week one. Questionable. There's a chance. And then McCaffrey was like, here's the thing. I'm not going to play until week 10, and I have to go to Germany. This just don't feel right. And my team thinks I need more time. So why couldn't Jennings do the same thing? Niners didn't bug McCaffrey about his timeline. Take as much time as you need, Christian, please. So why not for Jennings? His calves hurt. Calves are really finicky, as Kyle Shanahan said. So just trade him. Trade him for someone who wants to be on the team or a pick, because he doesn't want to be here anymore unless you give him an extension, which you should have done a month ago if you wanted to give it to him, because the relationship is messed up now. It's like it's just like the Ayuk situation. You paid Ayuk, and it still seemed like it took a year plus to fix the relationship, if you have fixed it at all. I don't know. I noticed that the Niners did a photo shoot for their new here's another hot take, and then I'm going to take Korean Niner on the show. I noticed the Niners did a photo shoot for their new uniforms. Check it out on their website. And they had like certain players modeling the threads. You got a lot of George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy with their helmet off. Good lighting on their face of the franchise. Fred Warner as well. And they had a few pictures of Brandon Ayuk, but it's impossible to tell whether it's really Ayuk or like a mannequin with an Ayuk jersey on it because they're so close up. So if Ayuk was there, they really missed an opportunity to like show that he was there. It might as well have been a mannequin. And then they had a bunch of pictures of Lenore as well, but not one picture where you can actually see Lenore's face. It's always like the back or in a lot of shadows. I don't understand why teams do stuff like that. And I don't think it's conscious. It's probably subconscious, but it's like, you see how you have all those lights on George's face and it's like all the different expressions like, oh, George smiling, George thinking. It's like, how about Lenore? Just saying, just for like, fairness, because he's good too. And you brought him there. Anyway.